Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Coach Cody podcast. It's been a second since I faced you guys for watching this. I just am using my camera for something else, so this is what we're gonna do. We're using my MacBook camera. Hopefully the quality is okay. But anyways, this week I wanted to talk about Thanksgiving because, it's coming up. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, then it is tomorrow. And generally, people tend to either one, freak out about what to do on Thanksgiving if you're trying to hit your macro goals and you don't want to overeat, that sort of thing, or it's free for all and maybe you don't care enough about your consumption on Thanksgiving. No, I'm just kidding. Most of us, there's this kind of blown out of proportion situation involving Thanksgiving. We think that one day alone is going to be the thing that causes all the weight gain. So I want to give you some tools and some tips and tricks. I don't know if it's really tips and tricks or if it's that fancy, but I just want to give you some tips on how to approach Thanksgiving, how to enjoy the meal without feeling guilty and without it wrecking your progress. So I unfortunately don't have any tips for family gatherings. I know this year is particularly a rough one for many. Politics, yeah, it's rough. And just like on Thanksgiving, I'm going to stay out of them for this episode. Maybe I'll start off with something I'm thankful for. I do want to say this year has been an absolute shit show. Around this time last year, I made one of the worst decisions of my life. I will say that. And hell, I'll give you a little preview into it. I hired a business coach who, let's just say, wasn't exactly aligned with my values. And unfortunately, this business coach was very expensive. I did not know at the time that they did not align with my values. I was kind of having an all-in year that I really wanted to go in hard into my business, really focus on it, and have faith and trust in myself that I have what it took to do the work in order to get there. So although I knew it was anxiety provoking to spend a large sum of money on this business coach, I was led to believe that I would have success as long as I was willing to do the work. And I'm someone who's willing to do the work. I don't give up. I do not quit. But I think in this circumstance, it might have been one of those times where I should have. But long story short, I got locked into a 12-month-long contract, and it was a $2,000 a month expense that drove me financially into the ground, and I spent the whole entire year in survival mode. And, I saw a psychiatrist for the second time, and silver lining is that amongst the depression and anxiety and everything else this caused, I was also diagnosed with OCD, which is something that I unknowingly, had for my whole life probably. And it has been something that has kept my life very small. It has kept things very limited and essentially made me create my own prison. So I'm looking forward to next year breaking out of my own prison, that is OCD, breaking out of, the financial constraints that were brought to me this year due to a unfortunate decision. I will say though, this individual was damn persuasive and damn good at selling, so I will give them that. My responsibility, I fell for it. I really thought that I could put in the work and make it happen, make it work. But unfortunately, as we know, now that we're at the end of it, that was not the case. And now I'm back to building back up. But I am thankful for being done with that. I had my last payment this month specifically, cause for celebration in and of itself. Also, silver lining is the OCD diagnosis, because it's something that's held me back for a really long time. And I just thought I had really bad anxiety, and it just felt like no matter what I did, it wouldn't get any better. And now that I have the diagnosis, I have a path to actually get better and make improvements in my mental health, anxiety, and I'll be working on that more in the future. I made a small dent in it this year, and I can go into that more another time. But for now, Um, Ultimately, I want to thank my girlfriend Des because she's what has supported me through this whole year that has been a complete shit show. And I definitely would not have gotten here or survived without her. Again, I will go into more detail at some point. I'll probably do like a New Year's episode going into all the mess that truly existed. But I wanted to kind of stay on the positive side and just say I'm so thankful for Des. Des, if you're listening, you are amazing. And I just appreciate you more than you know. All right. So now that we've gotten over that, sorry for that cheese, let's move on to Thanksgiving and some tips. So, tip number 1, as usual, no politics. Try to do your best to just be humans having a meal. All right. But when it comes to the nutrition and fitness aspect part of things, it's one day, guys. So don't stress out about it. All you can do is do your best leading up to the holiday. Stay on track as well as you can. Don't change anything. Just your normal routine of things. The gym, meal prepping, staying within your macros, whatever that looks like for you. And then Thanksgiving Day, enjoy yourself. Enjoy the meal. Do not stress over it. Allow yourself to enjoy it without guilt. When you bring guilt and shame into the equation, you can't even truly enjoy it to begin with. And that's going to kind of get you into this cycle of wanting more. Like, I didn't enjoy this. I want to enjoy something. And then Thanksgiving turns in from one day to multiple days. Or maybe there's just desserts that you end up diving into that day or all the rest of the week. So, like I said, give yourself permission to enjoy this meal. It's not something that you do every day. I feel like moderation and holidays are like the definition of what moderation is. We have treats on occasion, and they're treats because we do it once a year. And so, yeah, they're meant to be enjoyed. So as far as not turning Thanksgiving into multiple days, if you are hosting, try to give away the leftovers to your guests. Yeah, generosity. Here you go. Here's some extra turkey. Here's some extra mashed potatoes. Turkey breast is not so bad. Maybe you can keep some of that for some meal prep. But it's the mashed potatoes, the sweet potatoes, the stuffing, all that stuff is going to be very calorie dense. So give away what you can, whatever your guests are willing to take. That way, you're not tempted to take it out of the fridge and it doesn't have to go to waste. And you're not going to be turning those Thanksgiving leftovers into Thanksgiving Day for the rest of the week. And that's when it definitely can disrupt your progress. And that's kind of how weight gain happens. It's just we're turning these holidays with the leftovers into multiple days. Or maybe you have multiple Thanksgiving celebrations. You might have to work around those a little bit better. Plan ahead. If you have multiple Thanksgivings throughout the week, maybe you have a Friendsgiving, and then you have a family. Maybe you have your in-laws, and then you have your immediate family. Try to plan accordingly. If you go maybe just plan for one of them to be one where you can just completely enjoy. The other ones, try to make space for it in your macros or whatever as best you can. And one thing you can do to kind of lighten the load, if you have multiple days of this holiday, fill your plate with protein first and then vegetables. So that way you've got the majority of your plate being protein based. Throw that salad on your plate. Throw the vegetables, and I'm not talking like a green bean casserole kind of vegetables, like the roasted kind, minimally. It's not been fucked with too much. It's not cooked in pounds of butter. I'll just say that. And then you can put the other things you enjoy on that plate. So therefore you're kind of doing some damage control already, because half your plate is vegetables and protein. Pick a day where you allow yourself to be free with it. If you want just a small bit of turkey, that's another thing with turkey as a chef. So former chef in my former life, I feel like cooking turkey is this weird sport because it's the meat that we eat one time a year most part, unless it's like ground turkey, because it's usually so dry that it's an event just being like, who can make the least dry turkey? And you can make delicious turkey. But the fact that it's really hard to do for the majority, it's just an interesting pick for Thanksgiving. Like, it's so easy to mess up, and you just kind of have to suck it up and enjoy it anyways. If so, it reminds me of that scene in Christmas Vacation. If you've ever seen that movie, National Lampoons with Chevy Chase, and the chicken or the turkey was overcooked, and he goes to cut into it, and it just opens up, and it's dry as fuck. I feel like we put up with turkey. I don't know why we chose it necessarily. It is more sustainable, I feel like. It's big. It feeds a lot of people. Maybe that's what it is. It's a feast. I don't know why I'm going on this turkey rant, but what I'm trying to say is, so yeah, maybe you just want a little bit of turkey and you're more of a sides person. Choose one day where you let yourself just enjoy all the sides and get the amount of turkey you do or do not want, you know? So again, the biggest thing is another thing that you can kind of do to mitigate the effects. If you're not cooking, get out and move that day. If your gym is open, hit a workout. You still got plenty of time. Since I went to culinary school, which I did not know at the time was going to be the thing that designated me to cook every Thanksgiving and holiday every year after culinary school, my workout is basically the kitchen. I used to wake up earlier to get a workout in before I started cooking, and I'm just too old for that shit now. I do not have the energy. So how I plan is I make sure to make it so my day off tends to fall on Thursday. I arranged it to be that way, even if it's not normally that way. And I'll still aim to hit steps, but generally I hit my steps while I'm cooking, because it's a lot going on at once. It's one of those meals, there's a bazillion things going on, and it's a workout. But if you're not cooking, then make sure you are at least getting out for a walk, whether it's in the morning, whether it's after dinner, because generally when you're feeling pretty full, it's kind of painful sometimes to just like sit there and do nothing. So those are a few ways you could do. It also can lessen anxiety and give you, maybe you don't want to be around your family the whole time. So getting out for a little bit of walk can be a little break from the family tension. It can, if you're an introvert, give you some time to recharge and kind of go back into things, but also helps the digestion and not make you feel like you regret it a little, you know? And I think that's the biggest thing. All right. So don't turn it into a free-for-all. Don't make it a week-long holiday, and don't feel guilty about it, because when you get into that cycle of shame and guilt, it's really hard to get out of, and it doesn't help anything. All right. So anyways, hopefully that helps you. And remember, it's just one day. All right. So if you'd like to, in the comments, let me know what you're thankful for this year. And also, what I really, really want to know is, what is your favorite side? Personally, I like sweet potatoes because I have a sweet tooth. So I'm all here for the marshmallows and shit. All right. I'll admit it. But anyways, okay. Let me know your favorite side. Let me know what you're thankful for. And I know also that I'm thankful for you guys for listening to this, listening to me ramble. I'm closing in on, it's not quite been a year, but I'm going to be closing in on a year soon of doing a weekly podcast. And I feel like, I'm just thankful for anyone who has listened through this, and appreciate y'all for listening moving forward. But if you found this helpful, make sure to give it a like, share, comment, and peace out, guys. I will talk to you next time.